Hello everyone, and welcome to our Youth Sunday video for this year. Slightly different than maybe the past two which you've seen. We wanted to focus this Youth Sunday event on something which is quite important to us within the Archdiocese of Liverpool and within our retreat centre. And so actually this video is all about the Faith in Action CYMFed National Award. I think then, within our Archdiocese, you might be sat here now thinking, I've never heard of this award, or I'm unfamiliar of what it might be, what it might involve. So I kind of wanted to put a little bit at the start to give a bit of context to yourselves about maybe what this award can offer and help you with. Now, the award is simply about recognising young people and allowing them to put their faith into action. And they can do this in numerous ways within a parish setting and a school setting. In 2016, we launched this award, and over the few years of running it, we recognised just how many young people were going out and wanting to do good within our Archdiocese. And we thought actually this is something which we're proud of as a youth ministry team. Now, over the years, and unfortunately because of the COVID years, we had a little setback on the amount of people who were involved in this award. And so this year we decided to do a relaunch to allow people to come back onto it and to understand a little bit more about it. So at the start of this year, we actually ran our relaunch meeting, and we had a lot of people who were coming to see what the award was about and how it could be run within their school. And at the moment we have 800 people signed up, and we've still got 2 months to go until the sign-up deadline. So things are looking very good and very positive. But I suppose I wanted to mention, maybe just so you can understand the video a little bit more, about the different roles and jobs and how this all works. So I haven't quite introduced myself yet. Hopefully you might have met me doing different things within Animate Youth Ministries. But of course we do stem out into maybe different areas like Lords and Confirmation. And one of those things is Faith in Action. So I am like the Faith in Action coordinator for the Archdiocese of Liverpool. Now underneath me we have our coordinators, our people who run the award within the parishes, the high schools, the primary schools. And below them we have our participants, the people who do the award. And last but by no means least, and sometimes the underdogs, we do have our moderators. And these are a vital part of the award because they actually affirm the young people at the end of the year for all the work which they have been doing. So today, hopefully, we will be interviewing a few different people around the diocese and seeing their insights on what it means to have run the Faith in Action Award previously, what or how it can develop young people, and perhaps certain things which they've learned on their own faith journey whilst doing this award. So until later, I shall say goodbye and thank you for watching. But of course, this is Youth Sundays to celebrate all the young people's actions, but also all of the other people which are involved in this award. So on behalf of me and Animate, I would like to just firstly say thank you very much for watching, thank you as well for taking part, and I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone.
Cut! So back on the road once again. It's the third Youth Sunday carpool karaoke, or at least our version of it. It's the trilogy, the Trinity, whatever you want to call it. And this time we've got a different focus. The first one we did was just a general youth ministry focus. Last year we spoke a little bit about loads, and this year we have something else.
Yeah, because we are thinking about the Faith in Action Award. This is an award which we've been doing in the Liverpool Archdiocese since 2016, I think. So it has been happening for a number of years, but this year we've decided to do a bit of a relaunch, get more schools involved, get more people involved and young people involved as well. And so to maybe open our eyes a little bit to what the award is, and how it kind of works and who's involved, we are visiting different people. And our first person we are meeting is Deacon Paul Mannings.
Yeah, so we're off to our diocesan offices. Deacon Paul works at the education department, so we're going to be hearing what Deacon Paul knows and thinks about the award.
So we will see you then.
So when we are visiting the individuals, we're asking them this question to get us to get to know them a little bit. So I'm going to ask you two, what would be your favourite meal? So starter, main, and dessert. What would you have?
Elliot, I'm going to say I don't think this is an original idea. I feel you've copied this from a famous podcast.
No, definitely not.
So this is your original idea.
Yeah.
You're gonna stick with that.
I'm going to stick with that.
Okay, right. As long as we're all clear, the trademark infringement is yours and yours alone.
Yeah.
Okay. Good question. I like Italian food, so probably have to have some pasta somewhere. Go on. What would yours be, Ellie?
Well, I always like a bit of halloumi to start, so I'll have like halloumi starter.
Right. Would you have anything with the
sweet
halloumi?
chilli.
Oh,
Sweet
yeah.
chilli jam.
Yeah.
Right.
Would that be your starter?
Yeah, but then I feel a bit disappointed that I've picked soup.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go Italian style and have a pasta dish as a starter,
Oh.
and then I'll have like a meat course after that. I'll probably go a good carbonara. I know that's a bit boring as well, but you can't really. It was a good carbonara, but not a cheap and nasty one. So
For your starter?
yeah.
Right, I might change mine.
Yeah.
For your starter?
I don't know yet.
Well, you can have anything. You don't need to stick to the conventions of normal starters.
I know, I just think you're going to be a bit full before you get to your main. Well, it is a main meal.
Yeah. Well, if we go to Italy, I'd have a pasta as a starter, and then something else after that.
Would you not have mussels, Lauren? For your starter?
I don't know, it's just too much pressure, really. Too much. I can't think because I'm not in a hungry mood because it's quite early in the morning.
Right.
I'm one of them people.
Should we come back to it in a bit?
Yeah.
And we'll have more of a think about what our meals are going to be. It'd be interesting to
I
see.
know what my main's going to be.
Oh, go
It's
on.
going to be lamb or duck.
Oh.
Well, you don't know what it is then. It's
Well-
lamb or duck.
Yeah. Oh.
That's it. You know. That's like I know what my main's going to be. It's going to be food.
Well, I've defined it a bit better.
Right, okay.
I've defined it a bit more. And my dessert, I don't like desserts.
Would you not have carrot cake? Because you have to choose. You have to choose
I might,
something.
do you know what? I might go with an Italian style thing, a limoncello as my dessert.
I mean, you could go rogue and have mussels for your dessert.
Oh no.
No.
Oh,
Well, why would anybody want to do that?
I don't know.
Because it's not a dessert then, is it?
yeah. Well, dessert's just your last course, isn't it? I would have thought.
No, I think dessert means like sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know what game you're playing.
I don't know. Well, you can have a cheese board, and that's not sweet. Ellie's-
Hello, we are here at the St Margaret Clitheroe Oak Centre with Deacon Paul. So hello Deacon Paul, would you want to tell us a bit about yourself and what you do in the Archdiocese?
Yes, it's great to be with you again. My work in the Archdiocese is wide and varied. I think I could sum it up by saying sharing. I share in the life of a deacon, where I've got parish and city centre ministry as well. I'm serving the cathedral parish. I'm also very lucky to be part of the team that looks after religious education and prayer and liturgy and the whole Catholic life and mission of our schools. So we do that together. There's a whole team of us working. So life, and that includes wonderful interaction with Animate, which is brilliant.
Right, well, fantastic. I think maybe to break the ice a little bit, we kind of wanted to ask you just kind of an informal question just to get to know you a little bit. So I think this is, if you could have your own 3-course meal, a starter, a main, a dessert, what would you have?
Now this is a very difficult question. It's a very good question, but it's very difficult because my tastes are wide and varied. For example, I walked into the house on Saturday afternoon and there in the slow cooker, simmering away was some hot pot or stew as we call it locally, and that was it's one of my favourites. But I was out with friends, I was having a 3-course meal. One example I could give you would be a liver pate starter, sea bass and vegetables as a main, and cheese board at the end. That would be one of my favourites. If I was at home, a bowl of chili con carne followed by some melon would be fantastic. With that, I always try to actually avoid either a starter or a dessert. Just have a 2-course, but yeah, it's wide and varied. Whatever you offered me in your house or in Animate, I would accept.
Well, I think maybe just to explain a little bit why we're doing this, obviously we're thinking about Youth Sunday, and we thought, wouldn't it be great if we kind of went out into the Liverpool Archdiocese and spoke to a few different people about like the Faith in Action Award. We'll maybe talk about that a little bit more, but Deacon Paul Mannings, you've been kind of a part of this in your own little way. And I suppose then like the first question I want to ask, or we are wanting to ask, is what then is the Faith in Action Award? What do you think it's all about? How does that kind of help young people in the Archdiocese who complete the award?
That's a really good question. Thanks very much for posing it. The first thing I would say is those of us who aren't youth and who aren't young, we get great energy from the young people. So it's not an age thing at all. And to be actually out and about with the young people in so many dimensions and to realise what provision we've got for young people in this diocese, believe me, it keeps us all young. But as a direct answer to your question, what have we got from Faith in Action? It's because it is faith in action. Everybody in our schools who takes part in the process are linking very well, without realising it, they're harnessing home, school and parish very well, what they're learning in religious education, what they're actually being part of as their Catholic life and mission, or their wider Christian life and mission, because we've got joint denominational schools as well, with other denominations taking part. And whatever we're sharing, it is an actual let's get on with it for the benefit of the common good. How can our school serve the community? How can we actually enliven our actual interaction with church? Now, there are many schools who would say, well, the church that we used to have isn't here anymore, but we found out where the church community is, and we want to get involved, and we're using Faith in Action to do that. And this is really one of the greater dimensions. It's practical, it's enjoyable, our young people want to do it. And the fact that we're starting it now from year 6 and working our way up to the end of 6th form, I think is a great, it's a great citation for the award. It's action-packed and it's Catholic Christian.
Thank you for that. I think like what you said is like really nice to hear, especially maybe if you're a young person watching this, the fact that you're kind of maybe bringing life a little bit into the older generation within the diocese.
Careful.
Well,
We can still...
the overage people and the
I
don't know how else to
You're
word
digging
it.
the hole deeper, but
Yes.
I'm enjoying myself.
Yes, but to maybe the older generation, I'm just going to stick with that. I have no other way of saying it. But I suppose, really, for maybe a few young people watching this, you might only see a side of the award, or you might only be aware of a side of the award, of actually being a participant and having maybe a coordinator. But obviously, Father, Deacon Paul Mannings, has actually kind of maybe done a different side to this. And this is like moderator. You've been a moderator for the award. And I wondered whether you could maybe just speak a little bit about what that really means and how you play your part in doing that.
Moderation isn't about marking or assessing. It really is about celebrating what our young people are doing. So if they've taken part, if they've devised projects, if they've shared projects, if they've done projects by themselves, they're telling us all about them. We have journals, we have diaries, and one of the highlights of my year is to actually read the feedback or the actual photographic evidence they've got or the video evidence they've got of the work that they've done. That's what the moderation is. And I'm really not, we need to continue in our quest to think of names for what we're actually doing. Moderator is a good one, but overseer sounds like I'm looking after a farm. But just continue. We're actually appraising the work that our young people are doing, looking at the variety. And yes, we're saying thanks, but we're encouraging our young people as well. We're saying, right, you're at pin level now. Go on to bronze, go on to silver, go as high as you possibly can. Really carry it further. And what I'm finding is that all of the young people yourselves are saying, right, for my silver, this is my plan. This is what I want to do. So there's an awful lot of self-starting going on. And you might say, yes, but what type of self-start? What are they doing exactly? Well, what they're doing is so wide and varied. It might be fundraising projects. I'll come back to that a little bit later on. It might be giving their time freely, helping others in that way. It might be helping a national organisation or an international organisation, such as CAFOD Live Simply. It might be part of their Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme, where they're taking part in service. The Faith in Action lends itself not just to collecting gongs or collecting certificates, but saying, yeah, here's an example of my Christian life in action. And this is how the school has helped me. And more important, this is how I as a person have grown from what I'm doing.
That's great. Well, as a moderator, or should we say affirmer?
Actually, I like affirmer.
Yeah.
I do like it. That is good. I like that.
Is there any final pieces that have stood out to you in the past years after you've looked over the work?
There have been many, but I can home in on one. And it happened to be in this case a guy of about 15 who said that started off raising funds for a local care home. And this care home had an awful lot of palliative care that took place in there. And he said, I went out with my collecting can and I stood in the shopping precincts in and around the area. And then I thought, this is so easy. Anybody can go out with a collecting can. Is my whole contribution to Faith in Action going to be collecting money? Because if so, people these days give money they give it back into banking. Collecting cans are a bit old-fashioned. There are many other ways of raising money, but let's not think about money. Let's think about my time and how I can actually serve these people. And he decided that he was going to develop his work, he and his friends, into actually attending. And it was all very realistic. It was fitted around his own studies, and he had to get permission and DBSs and everything else that he needed, but he was able to go into the home and actually become part of that home. And he established a consistency of visiting, of helping, of gardening, of cooking, none of it interfering with his work that he was doing in school. And he said, this, if you like, has become a hobby. And I've actually laughed with the residents and said, you're part of my hobby, but you're the best hobby I've ever had. Because once this faith, and this is the important thing, once this Faith in Action is over, I'm going to carry on. And he has carried on. So I think one of the great things is remembering Faith in Action and using it as a launch pad, but then actually steering yourself once it's completed. And the other thing is, those who've done this as part of the service of their Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme have actually gone on to gold level of their Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme. And I'm just waiting for the next student, who will go along to one of the royal palaces and receive their gold award from whichever member of the royal is presenting it, and say, I link this with faith in action. That's something that we need to encourage our young people to say. There's loads of ways it can be used right across the spectrum, with St Vincent de Paul, with CAFOD, with Duke of Edinburgh Award. The scope is endless. But that one person who said he was going beyond faith in action, it started him, he was going to finish it for the rest of his life.
I think that's kind of maybe a really nice note to almost end on, because you know, the idea of it being like a catalyst, a thing which encourages the young person to go out into the communities, into the parish, into the school, do this good work and continue that, I think is fantastic. And really this is, well, from our side of things, why we wanted to go out into the Archdiocese for this Youth Sunday, because we want to say thank you for the work which you do, the actual kind of impact which you have on different individuals, and the difference which you're making within the Catholic Church. So thank you very much. But before we do go, Deacon Paul, I wondered whether you had maybe one last final thought you wanted to give to the young people watching this video.
Yeah, it's for all of our young people to realise that the Church would be nothing at all without you. And you are not the Church of tomorrow. You're the living Church today. So we all get on with it today. We need you. We need you badly. Today and tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us in, and thank you for being one of our guest speakers, our first guest speaker.
Yes.
So thank you very much. But that's all from us for now, so goodbye.
See you later.
Thank you.
So we've just said goodbye to Deacon Paul Mannings. You might have noticed that I, by accident, said father. I just want to just let everyone know. It's early in the morning, I know.
Yeah.
And it's Deacon Paul.
Again, your church hierarchy is confused.
Yeah. Just leaving from seeing the Pope.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
There you go. Interesting what he said, isn't it? It was.
About which, the food or the faith in action?
Oh, both, really, both. Let's go to the food.
Right, let's go. Okay, let's analyse this food choice first. Well, you know, slow cooker, I believe. Some priests in the diocese did slow cooker training recently. Perhaps it's the future.
There you go. What did he say? Stew?
Yeah, stewing. Hot pot vibe, maybe, as well. That kind of thing.
What, cheese board for a dessert? I don't really agree with that. I do like a bit of cheese, but it's heavy, isn't it?
I don't know, many people like it, don't they?
Yeah, I'd like a cheese board.
Like,
yeah.
do they have pork with it?
Yeah.
Wine or
yeah.
pork? I can imagine him being a pork man.
Yeah, pork and cheese. You have to pass the pork a specific way. I don't know. Do you go clockwise or anti-clockwise? I'm not posh enough to know that. Apparently you do. Anyway, this wasn't.
But you all have to drink from one glass?
No, you have your own glass, but you pass the bottle, right?
Oh, pass the bottle.
Oh, right.
I don't think you made that clear then. I thought you meant that was just literally.
Alright. I don't know. I don't mix in those circles.
Well, what it has done is it's helped me confirm my main course.
Right, go on.
And I'm going to go for a smoked haddock risotto.
Right.
Possibly some prawns in as well.
Oh, right. Are you making the risotto? Do we make this ourselves, or is this made for us? Because you've got to have the patience for a good risotto.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually take as long as people think. It takes about 40 minutes, but to be honest, it kind of flies by. It flies by when you're having fun.
Yes.
When you're watching.
Just constantly stirring the pot.
Yeah.
I like a risotto, but you've got to commit to the time.
I made mum one when I went back home. I even put this bit of cheap white wine in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was dead impressed with myself.
Well, you know, he also spoke about the Faith in Action Award.
Yeah, he did.
Which I think is nice that one of the reasons we asked Deacon Paul if he was available for the video is that I think it shows the support and the backing of the wider diocese. So like, as he said, he works in the education department, works in our central offices. That it isn't just like the award isn't just like a random thing that we as a youth ministry team or even other youth ministry teams around the country just like dreamt up and then that's it. But it is something that has a level of robustness to it, and it's supported by the diocesan authorities. So I think that's I think it's important. I think it came across with what he was saying as well. It's something that he spoke well of. So I think that's a good thing to remember.
Yeah, I think he's done a lot behind the scenes for the award, hasn't he? And he's pushed it to make it a bit more of a valued, purposeful award, which we're really grateful for.
Yeah.
But maybe people, or you might not be aware of that, but he does work in the background doing different things.
Yeah,
so,
really pushed it with schools and trying to get more schools signed up. So so if you're not signed up, sign up, and then Paul will like you. And that's always a good thing. And somebody did sign up a while ago. We're off to now. One of our first people who's ever done the award. Been doing it for 7 years, something like that.
I don't even know what year we're in now.
No, where we're going to, Ellie, you should know this.
Going to Hope Academy.
And why should you know this?
It's my old school.
There you go. You excited, Ellie?
Can't wait.
Hey, so after Hope Academy to see the chaplain there and Cassia. So we're heading over there now. So we're driven over to Hope Academy in Newton-le-Willows, and we're with the chaplain at Hope. So do you want to introduce yourself? I've already kind of given it away where you work, so maybe just tell everyone who you are. And
I'm Cassia Boydell, and I'm the chaplain here at Hope Academy, which is a 11 to 16 school in Newton-le-Willows. Mixed both boys and girls, and also mixed in faith. We are a joint denominational school, so it's Catholic and Church of England.
Oh, so that's a bit interesting. Possibly a bit different to many of the schools we might visit in our day-to-day work. So it's good to be able to speak to you today about the Faith in Action Award and our Youth Sunday video. And we even have a nice little backdrop of the Faith in Action Award, as if it was planned. So it's great to be here. And of course, I think on the way in, we were saying that we think Cassie is probably our longest serving coordinator, or at least joint longest serving, at least because we've been involved right from the start. He wasn't here at Hope Academy, in the previous school, and here as well, so lots of experience and background knowledge of the award. But maybe just to get us going, so to break the ice.
Yeah, get to know you a little bit more is so Father Simon always says this is like from the famous podcast, so not copied at all.
It isn't. There's no trademark infringement here. It's a completely original idea.
So if you could have like a last meal, starter, main and dessert, what would you have?
Right, well, thinking of a nice meal. Rather than be a last meal, thinking of a meal in a country pub. Let's make it nice.
You went dark, Ellie. That really is an original idea. That was not what we discussed. It was just a favourite three-course meal. No one is on differ at all.
More country pub. And, definitely.
Yeah.
But after, say, a nice walk, sitting down in a lovely pub, perhaps if we have something lovely, probably start with smoked salmon, maybe. Smoked salmon starter. Lovely. And then take it a bit more hearty, lovely Sunday roast chicken, I think. So all the frills, everything there, nice big meal. And then to finish it off, I don't have to go with the chocolate. Whatever on the menu. Chocolate. Something that has the word chocolate in, I think.
Classic British three-course meal.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, that's where I'm at.
So we know a little bit more about Cassie. Know where she works and knows that she should have chocolate as a dessert. So if nothing else, just take that away from the video. But we thought we'd try and focus our Youth Sunday video this year a bit more on the Faith in Action Award, because we did do a relaunch back in September for the diocese. A few things have changed, and we mentioned this before. I'm sure we'll mention it again throughout our video. But you have been involved for a little bit of a time. So just, I suppose, a basic question: what do you understand by the Faith in Action Award, and what do you understand to be just yourself, without all the blurb and the official things?
To me, faith in action is literally that. It's being able to put your faith into action, and understanding what putting faith into action is, to see what is Christianity, what is following Jesus' footsteps. So we understand that he loved us. He loved us by serving us. So in the Faith in Action Award, we have the opportunities to do that for others, to help people in our communities, to help people in our schools, to help people wider. It's just a lovely way to really think about who we are, what our faith is, discover more about our faith and to live it. And it helps build, I think, empathy for the world around us, to give us a way of understanding life and its purpose, and how through our faith we can just encompass and live out everything and become the best we can be. Faith in action helps that.
That's great.
Following on from that, what would you say like the benefits of the Faith in Action Award are, like for like the young people and yourself maybe as well?
There's lots of benefits. I think working together is a lovely way of people being able to talk about faith, talk about what they can give to the world and how they can help others. But also it helps build confidence, I think. There's lots that we can do in Faith in Action, whereby you begin with and you're given opportunities and tasks to do and ways to get involved. But then as you grow through your ward, you get a chance to look out for things yourself within the world, use your initiative, see where you can help and show love and that service to others. And yeah, that really helps that, and it builds that confidence, so that as you get older and you move away from the award, as you finish the award, it's still something that is habitual in your life. It's something that you carry on with, and hopefully forever. It's a way of life, a way of living.
I suppose to move away from like the generic idea of like what benefits it would be, I don't know, and you might not be able to, but if you could cast your mind back, is there any like individual stories that you've maybe encountered in the time as a chaplain at this school or previous school, and you've maybe thought, oh, this work that someone's been doing has been great, or you've done a reflection point with someone's given some kind of profound statement about maybe how their life's changed, but also you've been a moderator as well, so it might even be your own personal experience of someone in front of you, might have read something and thought, crikey, that's, or maybe both, I don't know. So
yeah, there's been lots of things. In the many years that I've been doing the Faith in Action Award, people have grown in faith. Like a few months ago, I met up with a girl just by chance who's now at sixth form, who did the Faith in Action Award, and the way she spoke about how her faith is helping her and how she's living out there and doing things to help others, it was just lovely to know that it stemmed from starting the Faith in Action Award. I've got pupils here who are doing the Gold Award, who, again, didn't really understand much about their faith, but it's really grown and it's helped them build confidence to go out and start doing things within the wider world. So they've taken part in youth councils because they want to put that faith into action in a wider context throughout the town, really. So it's been really wonderful to see that. And projects as well, I've seen people rewrite songs to fit in with their idea of faith, which has been lovely. I've seen drama that's shown an enactment of how to love thy neighbour, or how about the Good Samaritan. But even just reading personal reflections about how they see Jesus in others, or where they can live out, be the hands of Jesus or help others. It's just lots of different things. I can't think of one specific personal example, but I just love reading and moderating and seeing the projects come together.
yeah, well, I think it's fair. I think that idea of like the progress, like you mentioned, if someone might start maybe in year 7 at a high school and they go, oh, what's this award? I'll have a go, my mates are going, or whatever they go, and maybe they're not sure, and then maybe over the time they get to year 9, 10, 11, whatever, they're in silver and gold, and they've progressed through that, and then all of a sudden they see what they're doing makes a difference in other people's lives and in their own thing. That's like, it might be an individual person, but there's multiple people, I suppose. So that's, I suppose that's what the award's all about. I don't know, is there anything else you wanted to ask Ellie?
Don't think so.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say, do you have any final thoughts? There you go. Yeah, well, I suppose before we did wrap up, I don't know, there might not be any final thoughts, but anything else you might want to...
I just encourage anybody to take part in the award or run the award. It just is really beneficial. It makes such a difference in people's lives. And even if you don't see it straight away, it's planting those seeds and it does make a difference. Yesterday we had the Year 7s doing their bronze award in here and writing prayers and poems and thinking about remembrance and thinking about how that serves each other, looking at John 15:13, where it's about the greatest love we can show is giving our lives to our friend and what that meant. And it just helps them understand that in every part of our life there's our faith that we can live through, and yeah, it's wonderful. So I definitely recommend the Faith in Action Award.
There you go. So thanks to Cassia, and I'm just going to drop Ellie in it by saying this is Ellie's old school, and she's not said anything about
Yes.
being so there you go.
Yes.
It's my bombshell for the day.
Yeah, great to be back.
There you go. So thanks so much to Cassia for her time, and I will be moving on.
So I wanted to show everyone we've got new uniform ordered. I've got a new jumper. It's what's it called? Like it is it
It's a half zip.
3/4 zip thing.
Yeah.
Which Ellie is very, very jealous of. She decided to go for the jacket, and this is better. We are now also kind of somewhat sponsored by Regatta. All our work clothes are Regatta, which I think is really weird because.
So where are we off to now?
We've just left Cassia. We're on our way to see Pat Beattie in the parish of St Bennett's.
Hello, welcome back. This is our third guest we are with today. Now, I kind of maybe know you on a bit more of a personal level, and I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself and things. But you have been doing this award quite a long time within the parish. We are at St Bennett's parish, and so this is the inside here. This is where we're based. Do you want to say maybe a bit more about yourself?
Hi, my name is Pat Beattie, and as you said, I have been involved with the award since its inception, so I think 2016. I'm also a catechist here at St Bennett's for children's liturgy, as well as the sacramental programme of First Holy Communion. So I'm the coordinator and the moderator for Faith in Action.
That's right. Quite a lot, which you do. You kind of run this place, and you've helped us a lot in the past as well. I suppose really maybe just we've been talking about this in the car, haven't we? And we just kind of wanted to maybe break the ice a little bit. Are you introducing me? Sorry.
I can do. Yeah, well, listen to you. Yeah, well, may as well do that.
Yeah,
so yeah, just to break the ice, to get us speaking. We've asked different people if you have any 3-course meal at all, what would be your favourite starter, favourite main course, favourite dessert? The world's your oyster. You could have oysters.
Well, I say I love a Christmas dinner.
Right.
We have had that.
We've had the Cassia like to roast.
Oh,
we've
we've had the roast
seems to be
before.
popular.
Yeah.
I like a prawn cocktail as a starter.
Oh yeah.
Full roast dinner, so with everything, all the trimmings. And I love Christmas pud with brandy sauce on.
See, this is what I was saying in the car. Now, Pat's got a bit wintry.
Yeah.
And you can't help it, can you?
Yeah,
No, because I said, I just kind of fancy some soup. I thought I'd never pick soup as my best meal.
No.
But it's
No
changes.
No one's gone salad, but then I'd never have salad, even if the sun was out. It seems a waste of food.
Yeah.
Too much green on the plate.
There you go. There you go.
Maybe on holiday or salad.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
not
not
Greek salad.
No, still not.
No, okay.
No.
Alright,
It-
well, move.
Yeah.
We'll move on slightly from that.
We'll talk about my issues with green food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I suppose, like Lauren said, you've been involved in the award for a while, and obviously we've said to a few, you've said in the car, over that this is specifically about right, Faith in Action Award, this Youth Sunday thing, just to give it all a focus. But I suppose everyone understands the award slightly differently. So what is your understanding of like what the award is and what it could be? I don't know, just your own understanding.
It is a national award, and I think it's important for the young people because it can go on the CV. Obviously, I had a secondary background in school, so therefore making sure that young people have got something to write about so we can talk about what their achievement. But I think more importantly, that we recognise the service that the young people do, but also give them an opportunity to be part of the parish community. Because sometimes they feel a bit intimidated by the congregation possibly, and it's saying to them, right, well, we want the young people to be part of service, whether it's be altar server, reader, helping the parish still help out in children's liturgy, but somewhere that they can offer service, but also we can help them on their faith journey. Meeting them together as a group, it's interesting when they come together, different ages, but we've looked at different ways of getting them together, what suits them. And what's working at the moment is after Mass, because we have a children's Mass on a Sunday, when we meet as part of the reflection, we always have a McDonald's to begin with. So that is one bit that they really enjoy, having the meal together beforehand and then sort of exploring the gospel. So that helping others, but also the fact is that we've been able to do appeals, or something that they've been interested in charity, and the response from the parish community has been tremendous. So I think it's been a two-way partnership really.
It's kind of nice for us to hear because maybe 3 of the guests which we have are more like in the school-based centre or education centre background. And actually sometimes we can forget that the award isn't just within a school, it's actually within a parish as well. And I think, we're wanting to try and get this pushed and set up a bit more in other places, in other parishes, hopefully. And I think it'd be nice, especially from what you said, to maybe get this up and running. So I would kind of maybe, if you do have a parish back at home, get speaking to maybe your parish priest or to maybe a coordinator at the parish or something like that, and say, I want this to be something which I can be part of as well.
That's the thing, the other side of it, even if you're in the school, hopefully at some point you'll be doing things out of school.
Yeah.
And there might be that nervousness or being a bit tentative to maybe go to a church if you're not familiar with it, but the welcome you would get from most people, let's be honest, maybe not everyone, some people do like their own bench and get off put when a stranger comes in, all kinds of things we know does happen in the church, but the vast majority of people would say, oh, this is great, I know you're down at the school and you are doing the Faith in Action Award, there's loads of stuff you can do here, and they would really welcome people in. So there is a bit of nervousness. I'd be nervous if it was me, I was 13, 14 coming in, but I suppose it helps us overcome that. There would be a welcome, I think, in a local parish.
Yeah, I think another important point is that not all young people go to a Catholic secondary school, and that's maybe beyond their choice because of where they live, where the schools are. So I think being able to offer us in a parish, because some, the practicing Catholics, they come along, but then they're not going to a Catholic school, so therefore, or a Catholic school that's not actually doing the award. So it's giving them another, opportunity to be part of the award.
I don't know about this, but I presume maybe with them doing like the confirmation programme and other kind of things which would always exist in the parish, it kind of lends itself quite nicely, doesn't it, to kind of how all that works.
It does, obviously from the communion programme, we sort of say to them, this is other opportunities for you later on. But also part of the deanery confirmation programme, I think it's letting young people know what's actually out there. So it's not just Faith in Action, it's also obviously the way that you are doing it as part of Animate, the training if they want to be Eucharistic ministers. There's other things out there, but not necessarily they know where to go. So just give them another route. Really.
I think that's why we particularly wanted to do this video for Youth Sunday and for you watching, because actually, sometimes we can forget about the things which are being offered to us. It might be a bit easier if we're just in school and we're being told maybe from staff and all of that, but it's actually giving maybe you an opportunity to think about other options which are available. Now, you've been a coordinator and you've been a moderator, the double whammy. So I suppose really, I think you've been moderating the same as you've been coordinating, if I remember correctly. But is there any maybe pieces or any work or any stories which you might have of where maybe a young person surprised you, or you might have looked at something and thought, oh, blimey, that's fantastic, this is great. Is there anything which has popped out? There might not be, but
well, I think for me it's been a privilege to be actually reading young people's sort of reflection, because it's so deep, if I can sort of say that, where they thought about their faith journey. I have got some quotes, if you don't mind me, I've got some quotes from young people.
You're more prepared than we are with the quotes. It's good, just while you find it, it's good because, you know, we can talk about general things, you know, but actually if you're able to highlight things for anyone that's watching this, that'll be, you know, quite good. So
certainly, when our young people, we had somebody who came to speak about homelessness as part of the reflection, and we said we needed to do something. So they made an appeal to the parish community, and even the parish local centre helped as well. So they produced a list of items that they needed to put a bag together for a homeless person, and they went to the Whitechapel Centre. So they made an appeal in church, they stood at the back. So some of them that were really sort of very shy were there each Sunday handing things out or thanking people when they brought things in, and then they put the bags together, and it was 150 bags in total. But they wrote some individual cards then to a special young man or a special woman or a special man. So putting that in was personal to them, and it really did resonate with them, because I know some of them still, when they go into town, have some money in the pocket, so they see this person, they'll buy them a sandwich. So it has continued beyond so I think that in itself. Also reading some of the other young people's comments and being a moderator, where some people are part of a chaplaincy team in school, but they've gone out and helped, those who are lonely in school, so they've reached out to others, which is tremendous. One which I always remember is a group of young people who, it was obviously over Christmas, and they must live, or the school was close to a local fire station. So they made Christmas cards and took chocolate oranges to all those that were on duty on Christmas Day. So again, it's something like that. You think, what young people think about helping others. But these are just some quotes to say from my group. They said, through the award I've learned about who I am and who I am becoming, and by helping others I can keep my faith strong. Another young person said, obviously these ones who did sort of the silver and gold. The faith in action has given me a better insight into the church and gives me a chance to talk about it and how it affects our everyday life. And being part of a team and showing a good example to others. So then I asked the younger members, those who were doing the pin and the bronze, and they said, being more kind, time with other young people, finding out more about my faith, reassurance that people care about you, and in the world there's still good people who are wanting to help others. So, very deep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice. Obviously, it's nice isn't maybe a weak word to use, but I think it does, maybe for like us and maybe even people which are a little bit older than me, it kind of reminds you a little bit for yourself of kind of the acts and the small things which can be done. And so I think, one thing which I've learned through the award is it's inspired me to want to do a bit more because of the action from the young people. And I think it's just like described there, like you said, it's just the way things are phrased and the way that they see maybe the future in the church and kind of the problems in the world. It can inspire us as adults as well. I think there's just one.
Well, yeah, I suppose maybe final question. Just random final thoughts, or if anyone was watching this thinking, that seems okay. What benefits might you say there might be for a school or a parish to actually be involved in this. I think you've kind of answered that really through it all, but I suppose if there was anything there, any like final point about any benefits or just any of the final thoughts.
I think it's two-way. I think parish community can learn an awful lot from the young people. It does question why you do things, because the young people say, well, why do we do this? Why does the church do that? And you think, actually it's making me think now, because I've done this automatically for so many years and I haven't really sort of thought myself. So it gives me, sort of an opportunity to sort of think, well, why do we do that? But also, as I say, the parish community, they love seeing the young people being involved. And so it's a two-way. They get an awful lot from the young people and the young people get an awful lot from them. And I think as a parish community, it's important that we nurture the young people, give them the opportunity, give them a safe space to come, because it's not cool sometimes it's sort of to say, well, I go to church, but giving them something to actually want to come to church for, but see that their service is recognised. Also the fact is that if anyone was thinking, oh, I'd like to maybe look into the award, there's lots of, on Animate website, there's lots of resources there to help them. Like we link in with the liturgical year, so it's not saying well, it's something totally new, it isn't. You're linking in with Advent and how the Gospels reflect there and what we can do for service. So the liturgical year really fits well in with what you're sort of doing. We always obviously attend the award ceremony, which the young people love, going along with the parents and that. But then when we come back, we have a Thanksgiving Mass, where we give thanks for all the gifts that we've received during the year. But also we really present the young people with the certificates and the badges. So again, the parish community can join in with their celebration. So there's many things out there that is good from the awards, and I think encourage anyone to take part.
And I think as well, it might be just a nice opportunity on behalf of us just to say thank you to you and to actually our other guests and anyone who's been a part of the award in moderation or in the fact of coordinating it, because I think sometimes it's easy to maybe look at how the young people are making an impact, but without you doing your work as well, then it just wouldn't happen. So it'd be quite nice just to say thank you to you, to the parish and to any other people which have helped with the award as well.
Okay, thanks for your time and everything you've done, and we'll hopefully see you at the award ceremony, if not before, in a few months' time.
I'm sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we've just set off from Pat Beatty in Everton. We're now on our way to see Josh in Wigan. I've enjoyed going around seeing different people and like hearing about all the different things that the young people have been up to and different things they've done to complete the award. Especially what Pat was saying about the conversation we had after recording about helping like the homeless people and different things like that.
There's lots of stuff going on in the parish, it seems. I think it's good, like we mentioned it a little bit when we were talking to me, it's good to remind ourselves that although it's mainly done in schools in this diocese, which makes sense because you've got young people kind of there in front of you, there's a lot of reasons to have a go in a parish as well, and you can do things, maybe it's a follow to a confirmation programme or even starting it a little bit earlier after your first communion, so you might have to wait a year or two, but you could use it as a way to get young people together and give them a focus in a parish rather than just going to mass maybe on the Sunday, which is fine, but a bit more on top of that.
Yeah, and also I think the parish provides fluidity with the award, because it means that they can go from pink, bronze, silver and gold, where sometimes you might do pin in primary and then your high school might not be doing it and things like that. So I don't know, I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of an inside look of St. Bennett's.
Sadly the weather was not improved while we were speaking to Pat though, so it's still raining on our trip down the 57 here.
So we are here at St Patrick's in Wigan. We are joined by Josh. So do you want to tell us who you are and what your role is as well?
So I'm Josh Marshall. I'm a class teacher here at St Patrick's Primary School in Wigan. I'm the Faith in Action Coordinator. I'm also the Area and Collective Worship Lead.
Well, it's great to be here. Thanks for finding a bit of time in a busy day, I am
Very busy
sure,
day.
or escaping, whichever one you prefer.
Don't tell my colleagues.
No. So we'll extend this for a bit of time. So you're gonna get the
About
class.
3:15 or
Yeah, so it's great to be here. So obviously, this is a little bit different. We'll come back to that a little bit later, but this is obviously a primary school, so we've not spoken to anyone in primary school yet. So we'll see how that differs from like the high school and parishes we've spoken about. But just to get us warmed up, as we have done with everyone else so far, we've been asking not to in any way a copy of any famous podcast. Trademark infringement is not a thing here. If you were to have any 3-course meal, what would be your best 3-course meal?
For the starter, I'd have garlic mushrooms. I'm not sure if they've been popular with other people yet.
No.
Being in Wigan, I'd have to say potato pie for the main course.
Proper Wiganer.
Would you just have the pie on its own? Are you going to have chips, mash?
Beetroot and potato pie.
But, so what's in the pie? Just potatoes?
Yeah, like corned beef hash, potatoes,
Oh, right. So it's
a
like
nice
meat.
crust on
right,
top.
Okay.
And then for the dessert, I'd have strawberry cheesecake
Ooh, do you like a cheesecake?
with lots of strawberry sauce on the top.
Yeah.
With a bit of ice cream as well, or just
No, just the cheesecake.
Right.
Don't be greedy.
Yeah. We've had some very like filling meals. I would say we've had roasts, we've had stews, hot pots, pies. I think that people are seeing kind of like a good meal, which
Yeah.
I approve of.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's good.
I think a roast would be my second choice.
Right. See.
Like roast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it carries on from what I was saying the other day. No one wants a salad. Why if you're gonna choose any food, why would you bother with something that doesn't fill you up? Crazy talk. Anyway, we should probably move on.
Yes.
We can't just talk about this all day.
So you are the coordinator of the Faith in Action Award here at St Patrick's. So what do you understand the Faith in Action Award to be all about?
For us, the Faith in Action Award has been about providing our children with opportunities to reflect on, first of all, their own faith, if they have one, but secondly, allowing them then to practice what they've learned about in school and in the curriculum, to applying that into the community through doing acts of service, through discovering more about their relationship with Jesus, to build on what we've taught them about the Catholic faith, and then to go out and to live that in the community and in the locality.
I think it's interesting. Everyone's more or less said kind of the same thing, but also different things as well. I suppose that's one of the beauties of the award a little bit. It can be interpreted in your own way, in your own school and in your own town and your own like age group as well. Which I suppose brings us on to the next bit, or a little bit of like what's been your experience with the Faith in Action Award? Because we mentioned it's primary school, so that'll be interesting for people to know about like how that works in the primary, but you've also been a moderator as well, and a couple of other people spoke a little bit about that, but it might be interesting to hear both sides of that from your point of view.
So we've run the award here, this is the 3rd year we've run the award, and I've seen the numbers increase every year. I did feel when I started I was a little bit daunted because I thought I don't know if I'm going to have like, any support to do it. I hadn't heard about it. Our parish priest got a letter, he said, have you thought about trying this? So we put it out there. We only had 6 children to start off with, and it's grown steadily each year. But the support has just been fantastic. The children have absolutely loved all the activities. People run it very differently. I run it as an after-school club because the primary national curriculum is so extensive. I haven't got time to do it during the school day. But we can only do it with year 6 as well in primary schools. And we've found that a lot of our children, because again we've offered it at a different time, the children love it. They want to take part in it. We have lots of fun activities after school where they can complete the reflection points and then carry out any actions during the school day. As a moderator, again I've moderated for 3 years as well, and I enjoy that. First of all, you get a bit of a nosy at what other people do, because it gives you some ideas, but it's nice as well because you make links with people across the diocese. You get to see, first of all, it's validation, am I doing it right? And secondly, it's a lot of other people doing it, and then accompanying all the young people on their faith journey, not just the children here at St Patrick's.
I think that's an interesting thing, isn't it? So I think it is one of the beauties of the award. You can do things differently. So, you run it as an after-school club, which is a model. Other schools might say, right, I'm just going to put everyone in, or like the whole 30 in my class, and we'll do that model, and however that might work. We've not asked anyone how that works, but I know some people do it. But I think the great thing is when you do the moderation, you can see, like you say, you know, well, oh, they're doing this, and that might not be exactly how I'm running it myself, but the thing that they're doing at that time, I could do something with that. And so it's, you know, it is everyone working together, which is, you know, I suppose it's a good model of the church, really, if everyone's supporting each other and helping each other out as best as they can.
Moving on a little bit from that, so as like a coordinator and moderator, is there any pieces of work or any stories you have that stand out to you individually?
So I've got a few actually. My favourite faith in action moment was the Archdiocese send aid out to Ukraine, and we were contacted, would we like to make some posters to go in the shoeboxes for the children. So our children researched Christmas messages in Ukrainian, they looked at St Michael the Archangel statue in Kiev, they looked at the images of the crib that they wanted to do. They all made these posters, we laminated them and they went off to Ukraine. And the people who drove from the Archdiocese, they took pictures for us and showed us, taking them to the families. And for me that is real Catholic social teaching in action. And that was done by our children through Faith in Action. It wasn't done in an RE lesson, it wasn't done because we were a Catholic school, it was done because our children were in Faith in Action, they wanted to help other people. And the children absolutely loved it. They sang Christmas songs as they were doing it. It was just a real, one of those moments where you think, I'm so glad I do this job. In terms of children's pieces of work, I've got an example. We'll be a primary school teacher for that. This is the sort of style that I submit the final pieces in, where the children say what they've enjoyed, what kind of person they think they're becoming, what skills have they learned, what are the next steps if they want to continue Faith in Action. Basically, with the pin level in the primary school, all about discovery. It's helping them to reflect and discover the person they've become. And our children love doing these final pieces. They do it together, but they also do their own individual one. And it helps them to reflect on, you know what, I've been on a journey here. But yeah, this is the best one I've ever seen because it's so deep and meaningful and personal. And when it came back from the moderator, they were just so lovely with the feedback. In terms of moderating, there was a school I did once, and I thought I was going to be there all night because they sent me like 60 pieces of work. I think because I did too much in the meeting, so definitely have me on there.
That may or may not be me that did that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But it actually didn't take me very long because they were all so personal. It spoke about the relationship with the parish, it spoke about the relationship with the families. Like it wasn't just the children who'd been on this discovery journey, it was everybody. And I thought that was Faith in Action, it builds those connections. I thought it was lovely to see that as a moderator in somebody else's school, not just my own.
I think, you know, just looking at the final piece there you've got in front of you, you know, that clearly a lot of work's gone into that. You've done something, you know, you've done a pre-printed thing from the school and they've written, you know, both sides of paper. So there's a lot of work gone into it, a lot of thinking gone into it. But equally, looking at it as well, it doesn't, to me, I would say that's not overwhelming for someone to do. So when you talk about a final piece or someone moderating a final piece, we're not talking about a year 6 student having to write reams and reams of things or do a journal going back 12 months. You know, you might refer back to something, but essentially, you know, it is, I would say that's doable in you know, in a time frame that's reasonable. So I think that's good for people to see because we've referred to final piece a few times, but someone at home might be watching this, you know, going out on Youth Sunday, a parent might be watching it going, well, that's all very well, but my child doesn't have time to be doing essays or logging things in journals, you know, but I think that shows you can do something meaningful that isn't an overwhelming amount of time, I would say. So I think that's useful for everyone to see. So that's great, thanks. And I suppose you've hinted at this a little bit with some of your answers before, but what would you say the benefits of the Faith in Action Award might be for a school or even the parish, I suppose? You have good links to the parish here at St Patrick's.
I would say both. Really strengthen the links between home, school and church here. We're very lucky we've got a parish priest who supports us no matter what we want to do with the children. He'll always engage us with that. And he's been really receptive of the children coming over to church. The Faith in Action group would love to do this. Is it okay? Absolutely, go for it. The Faith in Action group, could they do this during the Mass? Go for it. The the Faith in Action group, can they do this? He's so supportive. But that's encouraged the children. They want to go to Mass on a Sunday. They want to take part in the life of the church. But it's not just about building your parish community. Faith in Action, I think, allows every participant's relationship with Jesus to grow in a way that sometimes they don't even think they're doing it. Like, for example, I spoke about the Ukrainian messages earlier on. They wouldn't have known that they were actually fulfilling so many Catholic Church social teachings doing that. They just thought they were being kind people. But also through doing that, they're following in the footsteps of Christ. And I think as well, here at St Patrick's, it's helped us to all come together as well. Because through Faith in Action, we've invited parents in for assemblies, we've invited in the local community, we've gone out and we've done things like afternoon tea for the sick and the housebound, just to give the children the chance to literally put their faith into action.
I think that's a major thing with like the PIN level in like primary school. Like they are together, they're all on this journey together, and they're able to support each other, and they're all basically doing it already.
Yeah.
They're on this journey and they're able to get something out of it as well. But with that, is there any final thoughts of Faith in Action, or like anyone's thinking of doing like the PIN level in primary, or carrying on from being at primary school?
I think, speaking just to primary school teachers, I know how much we go through in a day. I know how much we go through in a week. If you feel like, I haven't got time for this, it really isn't time consuming. And it's the communication between yourselves, the Archdiocese, the people who run the Faith in Action. It's just been fantastic. Like, there is so much support for primary schools. It's not overwhelming, it's manageable, and most of all it's enjoyable, and our children get a lot out of it. And we found that so many children have developed a relationship with Christ that maybe they wouldn't have done just through curriculum RE or through exposure in the parish. They've done it because of Faith in Action.
Wow.
That's it. A nice way to probably end things, isn't it? So I suppose just thanks once again for finding some time. We're in a kind of kitchen area, so we can pretend this interview's gone on for another like half an hour or so now and have a brew. So thanks very much to Josh and St Patrick's for everything that you've done for the award of the last few years. And if we don't, well, actually, we'll see you on Monday for your day retreats that you're due to come to us for. So it's been great to spend a little bit of time, and thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
So that is our road trip over. Driving back.
Still raining. Not had much luck with the weather, but I feel we've had a bit of luck with what people have been saying. Nice link between the weather and the inputs there, I feel. Well done me. I think it's been interesting to hear what people have said.
No, it has. I don't think this isn't originally what we wanted. What the plan was for this to be. And I think this has become a bit more formal than like maybe the other two videos we've done.
Yeah, it was the first video. We were bombing around the dice. I don't know how many people we saw, but we saw so many people. The time we had to spend with them was very, very limited. Once that first one we did, it was like 2 minutes. Then we were saying like we need to get going because we need to get somewhere else to move.
Well, I think Ian, we've perhaps gone with more input and less of us.
Less of us, which is
we realised we're not that funny anyway, so...
Yeah, we've run out of things to say now.
Now that we've done it 3 times.
Yeah, and seeing each other in the daytime as well was...
But I think Josh kind of wrapped it up well with what he said for the award, and obviously he's our individual who does it within the primary schools, so he was able to talk a bit more about maybe what the children get up to together than a more individual level and award, so it was nice.
I suppose that's it. There's the interesting differences between, someone like Cassia who'd have a mix of pin, bronze, silver, gold, but maybe like they opt into it, whereas a primary you cannot, you can't just say, well, the whole of the year 6 group, the whole of the year 6 cohort, because we already do the work, let's all put ourselves in, but then that changes like the way you do your reflection points and the type of work you do, so it's, an interesting way of of maybe comparing them, you know, any staff members watching this, you can see the differences, pros and cons of different ways of working. And I think the main reason everyone's probably continued to watch this point is just to get final clarification on what our 3-course meal would be.
Yes.
So just to finally confirm, we're going to write it down and mentally laminate it. Lauren, you're having...
I'm gonna stick with soup.
Right.
I'm going with a winter meal.
Soup.
Risotto, my seafood risotto and a limoncello.
Right. Ellie?
I'm gonna go with bloomy for starter, then carbonara from Estonia,
Right.
and then a cheesecake.
I'm going to go carbonara as a starter. Oh, you could change. No, it's been mentally laminated. You know, you can't go back now.
Damn.
I'm going to go carbonara as a starter, but not from anywhere other than Italy, because I just find that bizarre. Seafood platter for a main course, and maybe a sorbet for dessert.
You could have a limoncello sorbet.
Maybe a limoncello sorbet. Okay. There you go.
Or just a lemon sorbet.
Yeah, have a mix of them too. Sorbet of some description. And there we go.
There you have it.
Yeah, so all those hours ago, when we asked ourselves the burning question of our time.
It's taken us
Yeah, how many hours?
a full day.
Yeah.
A full day to answer that question. So thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Happy Youth Sunday.
Yeah.
And we shall say goodbye for now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.